The Italian Wine Podcast is the community-driven platform for Italian wine geeks around the world. Support the show by donating at ItalianWinePodcast.com. Donate €5 or more and we'll send you a copy of our latest book, My Italian Grape Geek Journal, absolutely free. To get your free copy of My Italian Grape Geek Journal, click Support Us at ItalianWinePodcast.com or wherever you get your pods. Grazie mille.
Welcome to The Next Generation with me, your host, Victoria Cece. This is your podcast to learn about all the cool things Italians 30 and under are up to in the food and wine scene. And yes, that includes all the best things to eat. Hello, everyone. We are back to another episode of The Next Generation. Today, we are traveling to Tuscany, to Chianti Classico. We have a special guest here today, and it is Cosimo, and Cosimo is already on. Are you there, Cosimo?
Hello there. Yes, I'm on.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on and taking the time to chat. So, Cosimo, where are you right now?
Actually, now I'm in my newly built office in Pomona, really, really small office. Every year we have something more to add to our small farm. So right now I'm here alone in my new office.
You're alone, but it's good. I mean,
yeah,
get some work done, maybe.
Yeah. This is a moment of the year in the farm where you really have to run fast.
Yes.
So you need to find the time to do everything. Otherwise, you're going mad.
So tell us, what does running fast look like on a farm, like a winery in Chianti Classico in June?
Usually May, June, July, sometimes more intense month of the year. Maybe in the winter, you have more time to think and to organize things because plants are dormant, are sleeping, let's say. So you have the time to set the thing. During the summer, they are growing, and that's the key part. And they don't wait for you. So you got to take care of them and tidying up the vineyards, getting ready to the summer. During the summer, usually works are a bit slower. Yeah, but in this period is the most intense, of course. Yes, in working in the vineyards, of course.
Of course. I mean, you said it perfectly. Nature doesn't wait for anyone.
Yeah, it doesn't wait for everyone.
It's going to go the way it wants to go.
Yeah.
But before we get down that track in that conversation, how about you tell us a little bit about yourself for the audience from your words? Who is Cosimo?
Okay, I'm Cosimo, born in Florence in 1996. I was born and raised here in Chianti Classico, and the house where I grew up, the house of my grandparents in the farm in Fattoria Pomona. So I've always seen during my life the farm life, let's say. After high school, I decided to study enology in Florence, and I studied for 3 years. Then I decided I wanted to stop my study and learning to work. So I started to work in the winery, doing everything you need to do. Also because our winery, Fattoria Pomona, is a really, really small estate. It's 6 hectars, which means producing around 20,000 bottles each year if everything goes well. Really, really small winery. So you got to do everything you need, from the work in the vineyard to the work in the cellar and office work and so on. So I started working in the winery, and now I'm doing 2 works at a time. And that's the tricky part, because I work in the winery and also I work for other wineries in grape growing, let's say. So I'm learning to be a kind of a consultant in vine training. I was lucky to find a mentor that is teaching me still now how to do it, because it's a really, really slow thing. As we said before, you need to follow the time of nature, So every year has his cycle and you can't repeat it, So if something goes wrong maybe in a part of the year, then you need to wait for the other year to learn something more, So yeah, that's me now. 2 different people trying to work it out, both things. That's hard, but really fun.
Kudos to you. I mean, it's a hustle. I mean, and it's really smart what you're doing is like enhancing your skills and also setting the tone for the future, because you never know where your career will lead you, no matter what, with your family winery or beyond. And I think that's really awesome. But I can imagine how busy you are, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a tough moment, but it's fun. As I said, it's fun.
Yeah.
And also because I'm a curious guy, let's say. So it's fun to be around. I work just in Chianti Classico for now. So I have the luck to go around and around the Chianti Classico every week and see what other people is doing right now, how they're training the vineyard, how they doing this kind of stuff. Talk with wine people and farmers and people who ride the tractor. And it's really, really interesting, no?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so many people behind a bottle of wine, right? Like there's so many things going on, and I think that's the beauty, especially that you're part of a small winery, which I'm always somebody who is like go like, if you're when in doubt go small, like look at small producers because they're the ones really getting their hands super dirty and figuring everything out like, you know, face to face, like you, like yourself, like I'm sure. And again, thank you for taking the time to talk today because I know that your brain's probably going like a million kilometers per hour.
Yeah, but it's a pleasure.
Of course, but I'm curious. So as you, because Chianti Classico, obviously one of the most historic wine areas in Italy.
Yeah.
Like as you go around and you do your work, do you find that there's a lot of young people working?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people around my age that works in the winery, but also not just owns a winery, but also who works for other estate. It's like a community in the community, no?
It's really interesting to have the community and be inspired by what's going on.
Yeah, especially with the climate change
Mhm.
things that is going on.
Like energy.
Of course, there's a lot of energy going on with younger people in winemaking. Chianti Classico, as you said, it's really historical winemaking region. So the key part for me is to trying to maintain the same kind of wine. You know, in other parts of the world, maybe you see young people trying to make fancy wine, let's say, I think in Chianti Classico, it's not necessary because you already have all you need to make a fantastic wine.
It makes me really happy that there's a lot of excitement and inspiration in an area that's so famous already. Because oftentimes, like you're saying, with other places, like where perhaps there's more of a brand image, that you kind of have to follow. Whereas in Chianti Classico, if you really go back to it, it's in the hands of the farmers and what you can really create.
Yes, the key, continuing making great wines, to find a way to continue making wine like 20 years ago, but with different variables. I think I'm kind of a conservative about wine, especially in this region, need to be preserved as they are.
Mm-hmm.
Let me explain. Of course, you already have whatever you need to make a great wine because wine comes from grape. The work is made by the grape. In making a great wine, it's 80% from grape and 20% in cellar work. In cellar, you just need to be careful and gentle. You just need to grow a great grape. So, yeah, you already have whatever you need to make a great wine. The difficult part is to keep doing it. And that's the challenge. And that's maybe one of the first topic we chat about when I have the opportunity to talk about it with my colleagues. Yes, you of course do a wine which is suit more the recent year, let's say. With this, I mean, you find more fresher wine, light-bodied wine, more dynamic, let's say, younger wine, which are typically made by younger people from here. But the heart of the wines is still the same as a wine of 30 years ago. It's just how you treat the grape, the difference. And that's maybe the only difference that I see. Also, of course, you have many new technology that you use to make a wine better, of course, which I didn't mention.
Yeah. You want to respect like the personality and the soul of the grape and obviously how it's treated will have different expressions, but you always kind of want to maintain respect for the grape ultimately and not manipulate it.
Yeah, not manipulated. Yes, that's the most important thing. Yeah, you need to just be respectful. The important work is in the vineyard, as I said, and you The difficult part is to find a way to let the plant express, even in period like this where the summers are hotter. This, of course, affects the wine you make. The climate change, it's something difficult to handle. This is the challenge of the new generation. Yes, this is the big one. A good winemaker is a winemaker that will make wine like they used to do 30 years ago. That's the difficult part.
Are you enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for fascinating videos covering Stevie Kim and her travels across Italy and beyond, meeting winemakers, eating local food, and taking in the scenery. Now back to the show.
Well, not to change the subject, but you just gave, I don't know why I feel inspired of a crazy question that just came to mind. But for people to understand more about you, if you were a grape, Cosimo, which grape would you be?
Oh, Sangiovese, of course.
Of course you would be Sangiovese.
What kind of question? No, but
I know. I feel like I set myself up there.
But if
okay.
I think a bit more, I studied enology, so you learn also about other grapes, and of course, international grapes you talk about a lot. Also, as an enologist, that I don't refer to me like an enologist because it's not the most important thing I do in my life. But this, of course, affects my way in seeing wine and understanding wine. So maybe also Chardonnay. I don't know, but I feel Chardonnay.
Oh, I like that. I like that you chose a foreign one and then you have an Italian grape.
Yeah, because it's one of those grape that Chardonnay is like also, or Merlot, I mean, international grape, because they are really plastic, so they can adapt to all kind of situation. Yeah, you gotta see as an international grape to survive and be good for the future years.
I like that. That means that you're adaptable and you will survive and you'll persist.
Yeah.
Which is important because we need people like you and this kind of energy, especially in Italian wine and the wine world. And I'm really happy we're having this conversation from, the different, the young people in Chianti Classico to which grape are you? Because I think there's more enthusiasm about Italian wine amongst young Italians than we realize, and we have to get it together and even if that means identifying more as Chardonnay, but it's okay because there's a lot of Chardonnay in Italy planted. So again, I don't want to take away from you in this conversation. I'm going to call you Mr. Chardonnay now.
Okay, Mr. Chardonnay.
Mr. Chardonnay.
I also like Chardonnay, of course. A lot.
But if you could tell us a little bit, what's the vibe of your winery? Tell us a little bit about it. I really like your Instagram, by the way. Winery's Instagram.
Oh, thank you. The Instagram is followed my girlfriend, which is coming along with us now. So starting to work with us. So that's great. I really appreciate that. The vibe is to, here, Pomona is the winery which has a big history. It's a place, it's an old place. This is the history. And it changed a lot during the decades. It started when my great-grandfather bought it in 1890. It was a furnace. So they used to make terracotta here. Then,
oh wow,
yeah, and then he bought this place, and he was a really smart guy. Of course, didn't know him, but was a really smart guy for sure. And he saw the potential that was here to make wine. Also, different times, so it wasn't just wine making; it was a proper farm, so with animals and fields, and with barley, and of course olive groves and vines. So he started then during the 20th century. There were many stop and goes because of the wars. It started to be a winery with my grandmother, of course. They started in the early 80s, and they started to do it. It was more like an hobby. It wasn't a proper winery, let's say. And then the 80s were a moment where winemaking was starting in Tuscany, rising up. No? And then my mother came in 2007. She started to make it more like a proper winery. All this story to say that all the generation has in common one thing, except for me. I think that they had in common that every person that guide the winery started making another job. And then for a reason or for another, they finished in directing the winery. This place is like Pomona for me, but I think Chianti Classico for every winery is like a magnet. When something can happen, when someone say, I can't do it anymore, or you take place, or we sell, you just can't sell. The vibe is like, it's like a magnet, this place, and you end being here and take care of this place. And I am the first generation that actually studied and prepared to make wine. This is something I always find it interesting. My mother, for example, was a veterinarian until 2007. And my grandmother was German, was a translator. My grandfather was a doctor, or so on. Every moment that happened, that the previous generation said, I'm full, I'm okay, I want to retire. The future generation, which was doing something else, said, okay, I'm stopping whatever I'm doing now to take care of the winery. I think this is pretty strong and interesting. I think and hope it's something that will never change.
That's really special.
Yes, so that's the vibe, the power of communication from this place to the family, the linkage, which is here. It's really interesting, and it's deep. So that's the vibe. The communication between the place and the people that live here.
I love that. Thank you for just going and explaining all of that, because I wasn't expecting that from the family winery. You sometimes expecting more of a typical story, not to like put anyone in a box, but
No.
But I love that that commitment and that love, and I like you say it's a magnet. Like you always come back, and also congratulations to you for being like the first generation to be like committed, understanding the grapes and in the vines and setting a tone for the winery's future that I'm sure will be very, very fascinating, because it seems that you have all the hands in the dirt instead of maybe being halfway in surgery and halfway in the vine.
No. Yeah, actually, as I said, I'm doing two jobs. So maybe in 10 or 20 years, I will have to stop. I have always thought about it. I started a new job. I'm doing both now. At a point in my life, maybe I couldn't do it anymore. We'll see. I don't think about it. I just go.
Yeah, exactly. And you're young. And I think you're also an inspiration for many people, especially those listening who have dreams of working in wine or are currently working in wine in some capacity and worry maybe, like I have to dive full force into it and do only one thing, where the reality is, especially in our world today, is that you can do multiple things or do two things and figure it out.
Yeah, you can.
And it doesn't mean that the wine's going to leave you or your opportunity. It's just that, you're young and you want to see like, what you like and where you want to be. And then obviously, given that you have your family winery, like the beauty of that, like you're saying before, is it comes back and your knowledge will always be part of, like, given back to the winery, which I think is a really special thing.
Yeah, it's fun. Sometimes there are tough moments because, of course, 5-6 people that has to say what you have to do. I mean, someone say you need to do this thing like that, and the other say no, you gotta do it like that. So sometimes it's challenging, but I think it's part of a family estate to sort it out, talking about it. Sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes you maybe have even little fights, but I think the good stuff came out also from this kind of problems.
Yeah. I mean, family businesses are not easy for anyone,
No, it's not easy.
Whether wine or not. I mean, my dad has a family business and, well,
sometimes it's hard.
I'm happy I'm not part of it. Let's just say that. Yeah. But if it was wine, it'd probably be different for me. But I totally, you have to have the passion first, because then you can get over all the difficulty that may come by. Before we wrap up, let's finish on one very important note. What are you drinking these days, Cosimo?
Oh, in these days, I'm drinking, as I said, I really like to drink. It was not in these actual days, but white wine from the northern part of Italy and Slovenia. Mm-hmm. I'm in love with Riesling from Slovenia. That's maybe the first things that came to my mind, but all the white wines that came from, let's say, Trentino Alto Adige, from also Germany, Austria, high acidity, mineral wines. Yeah, that's my kind of wine now. Also because we are in the summer, so start to get hot. That's the most frequent thing that I'm drinking in those days, maybe, or I will drink, if not tonight, maybe tomorrow, as soon as possible.
No, 100%. I think, that those are the perfect wines to drink right now, like, especially with the heat that's hitting Italy now slowly. I saw the forecast for next week and it's going to get hot again. So yeah, you need high acid mineral white wines or bubbles to get you through and get you like refreshed. And then my last question for you, because I'm trying to steal all your secrets for everyone. Where do you and your friends go to drink in Florence?
I actually don't go very often in Florence.
Or in Chianti Classico?
In Chianti Classico, usually when I go out, I actually don't drink that much wine. I drink wine at home, maybe wine that exchange first with someone else. When I go out, I usually go on maybe a long drink. So that's not really interesting.
No, it's okay. I'm a cocktail girl too. Don't worry. A lot of times it's a martini, not wine.
Yeah, I usually drink, maybe or a gin and tonic or an old fashioned. I like to drink something like that. I go more often in Siena, which is maybe not so much to offer like in Florence, but it's nearer to my house, so I go more often there.
I mean, can you share it? Is it a big secret?
The name of the place?
Yes.
I often go in a place in Siena, a wine bar, which is named Tre Filari, which is in English is like 3 lines of the vineyard. Tre Filari has really, really big wine menu, really variable. So it's fun to go there and drink something new. Every time you go, you find something new. So you want to go there. Yeah.
Fantastic. No, I love Siena. And I think I actually go to Siena often because I have family that lives, well, not in the city proper, but like on the periferia. So I'm definitely going to check that out next time. But thank you. I love, because, I think a lot of young people always, there's, they can find things on Instagram and social media, but sometimes it's good to hear where, a young winemaker and a young person like themselves goes and drinks so they can have some fun too.
Tre Filari, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Cosimo. It's been lovely, lovely chatting. I hope you had some fun.
Yeah, sure. Of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I wish you all the best. I know you're on some intense time, so I'm going to let you go now. But yes, I want everyone to go on their Instagrams right now and follow Fattoria Pomona. It's really cute and I love what you guys are doing. And again, wish you all the best.
Thank you so much and have a great summer.
You too. I wish you all the luck.
Ciao.
As always, a big grazie for hanging out with me today. Remember, you can catch me on the Italian Wine Podcast every Sunday and anywhere you can get your pods.